All right, so we got to see some Jalen Milroe here. Another Jalen Milroe performance. We saw him last week as well. Staying up here late on the East Coast to make a Jalen Milroe video. So let's just dive in. And actually, speaking of, I guess not really a dive, but a quarterback sneak here, he has to have the record for longest technical playing time in NFL preseason game. He's got hit a snap with 13 minutes left in the first quarter, and then obviously finished the game. Why? Well, I find this interesting. I don't know if it's worth talking about, but I figured I'd mention it. He took the quarterback sneak here. I just found it fascinating that he took it, but not Drew Lock. You see. Watch as, it's converted, whatever, right? Like, the quarterback doesn't do actually a lot on the quarterback sneak, especially now it's really a tush push at this point, which makes sense due to tush push in this, era. It logically, that's smart. But I don't know if they're practicing this with him. I'm just thinking kind of out loud here, but I don't think this is nothing. In an NFL game, usually you'll only dress two quarterbacks and then have one as the emergency quarterback, right? So would you have Milroe be running these practices if you plan on having him as third string, which he currently is? I don't know. Just worth mentioning. But okay, let's get into the actual, performance now. So here we go. As I said, entered the game very late here. Late third quarter is when he really first started playing. And also, on another side note, I know I'm taking forever to get into the actual film here, but do we have to do these interviews right here? Like, we've all been waiting for Jalen Milroe, right? That's why we're tuning in to this game. I get that, these are local broadcasts usually, so I get the interviews can be fun. I understand, and it totally makes sense in the fourth quarter of some, game where there's no notable players playing. But like this is a notable player, right? I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the play. It's a zone coverage concept, cover 2 zone right here. You see how this can work with the receiver closest to the sideline, kind of holding the corner underneath. You can then throw a little bit further deep. Milroe's going to take the snap, and I'll pause it right here. You'll see that this is, it's open, right? It is. There's a window to make this throw, but still, you got to be able to hit the open guys, right? As you see, Milroe is able to do that. So, again, is that the biggest highlight reel level play you'll ever see? No, it isn't. But it's still, he made the right play, right? It's good there. Although heading over to this play, this one I was not as thrilled with, I guess we can say. So it's a 3rd down and 5. Okay. Important situation here in a meaningless game, right? But you're still playing it as though it's an important play. You see this route going over the middle. That is where Milroe was going to look. He takes the snap. Again, this is his first read. It's, about the cut. It's a little bit of contact, but it looks like it could potentially get open. Definitely want to look there and see exactly what happens, except Milroe has already stopped looking at this play. He's not looking downfield. And in my opinion, that is a problem. Listen, he's an incredible runner with the football. I want to, this is a clean enough pocket. Honestly, it's a really clean pocket. I want to see him looking to throw. He can throw effectively. Instead, he sees man coverage and immediately wants to run out the football. But listen, defensive linemen are just so athletic in this league. Again, I know it's, almost the fourth quarter of a preseason game, so you're getting backups and all that stuff. But backup NFL players are still college all-stars, something I say all the time. And it only gets tougher once you play the starters. You're going to have to sit in the pocket more than he did in college and more than he did on this play. So, yeah, just not a great play there, in my opinion. Heading over here, we did see, again, kind of similar to that first play I showed you. It's tough. It's always hard to evaluate guys when they play this late into the game. I'd love to see him get, reps against at least backups because, even though I just said these guys are still college football all-stars, it still is a difference. The play you see on your screen, I actually think it's supposed to be man coverage. They're disguising as though it's zone. I believe that's what they're going to do right here. You have, a player is going to be cutting more over the middle. Watch what happens. Look, you have almost a little bit of a rub route there. The Chiefs try for a switch, and that just doesn't work at all. There is a player wide open. So that's what I mean by this is one of those, it's closer to college football than NFL here on this play, right? You have someone wide open, but still, quarterback has to read the play, make the right throw, right? Milroe does his job, and then unfortunately his, the teammate there can't stay on his feet. That's funny. But, ultimately, again, I don't know how much that means. It means a little, right? He was able to make the right play. That's always good, but it's nothing doesn't mean a lot either, right? He did also miss this throw that probably could have been a touchdown if he hit it. But I will say, and like, this is kind of what I should say about all of these plays, but especially this one, it's raining. So not great weather, and that does affect things. Like, I remember Bo Nix in a regular season game against the Jets last year, he missed like a dozen throws because he couldn't get a good grip on the ball in the weather. Like, that matters. That's a factor. And it also matters, and maybe is why he wasn't throwing the ball on some plays. Maybe he didn't, trust him in this weather. Maybe was making a strategic decision that way. I don't know. It's possible. I still think, like, that play I showed earlier, I still think I would rather him look down the field, right? Whether you throw it or not. But that is an important asterisk to put on, like, any negative play you feel like you have from this performance, in my opinion. Okay, now let's go over here, because listen, I've thrown some critiques out about some of these plays and some of these, maybe, missed throw in the weather and then him not throwing the ball down the field. But like, one thing that has to be mentioned is, like, I mean, listen, this guy is just such an explosive runner, right? And we didn't get to see it as much in this game, but like, I thought he really showed it a lot in the first preseason game, like often. Here you saw him definitely, handing the ball off a lot just due to the weather. But like, so this is going to be a play action rollout towards the top of the screen. And when this play begins, I mean, you're going to see so far, first part of play, nothing too fancy right here. But once he gets to this point, you really are going to see just how explosive he can be with the ball in his hands. I mean, watch him it's really good stuff. And honestly, he almost, I mean, again, it kind of, the play itself kind of got, funky there at the end, because I think he was trying to just get out of bounds to not take a hit, because it is the preseason. But like, obviously he had that first down easily had he, lowered his shoulder and made sure he got it. If this was the regular season game, he gets the first down. So yeah, it's, again, you see the athleticism, you see the mobility. It's good stuff. So yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts mostly on Milro. It's like, listen, like, he did some nice things. It was kind of an unfortunate situation where, like, also, like, game situation, they were up 1 million, so they were just running out the clock for a good chunk of it, which is like, okay, I guess I get, like, game situation why you do that, but also, like, you don't have to, like, it is practice. But then again, it was raining, so they probably just wanted to run for those reasons as well. It's a whole thing. I'm sure they wanted to just get out of there as well, so all of that stuff. So unfortunately, we didn't get like a ton of sample size with Milro, but still, ultimately a play or two here that I wasn't crazy about, a play or two here that I enjoyed, and then mostly a lot of, like, nothing crazy here. I definitely was higher on the first performance than this one, but I don't think there was nothing here as well. Just maybe, a couple things to clean up, right? If I'm a coach in the coaching room, I'm like, hey, maybe a couple of these things, let's pay attention to that. Let's make sure we're keeping our eyes downfield, things like that. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.